Up next on Connections, spring has sprung and summer is near, and the CTA is the fun and fast way to get to your outdoor destinations. We'll show you the efforts behind keeping CTA trains and buses clean. That plus local artists who are creating literal art exhibits, adding beauty to CTA stations. And Bike plus Bus. It's a powerful equation for saving time, money, and the environment this summer. Getting you where you need to go with service that's on time, clean, safe, and friendly. Welcome to Connections. How much can you save by taking the CTA to work and to play? We'll show you. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. After an April that felt more like a November, I think we're all ready for some warm weather and getting outside and enjoying it, especially in a great city like Chicago. I mean, we've got festivals, concerts, parks, and of course, ball games. And the best way to get there is by the CTA. Chicagoans know how to make the best of their good weather. And the CTA knows how to help Chicagoans make the most of their free time and hard-earned money.
We encourage public transportation because it makes it so easy. All these stops that you can get off in the loop and just walk right over to Grant Park or Millennium Park. And especially during Taste of Chicago, when roughly about 3.5 million people show up on our lakefront over 10 days.
You can get a bad case of indigestion trying to navigate a car along the lakefront during Taste of Chicago. And parking rates can leave you singing the blues if you take your car to one of the many music festivals held downtown.
The big night is always Independence Eve. We have our big fireworks presentation, and we see about 1 million people show up that day. There's always plenty of service, plenty of help that night, and just a great practice in the city to do your fireworks and then get on the CTA to go home.
And the fireworks extravaganza is only the halfway point of the summer festival season.
Venetian Night comes up, the Air and Water Show in August, and Viva, the Latin Music Festival, so much more. Why put yourself in a bad mood by being in traffic? Just take the public transportation. It's the best way to go.
The same goes for travel to and from Chicago beaches.
Starting around May 27th, we give access directly to the beaches. Starting at about the time of June 19th, the service that's provided only on the weekends and holidays, it turns into everyday weekday service during the beach hours.
Beach parking lots fill up quickly, and other parking options are limited.
If the parking lot at the beaches are full, you'd end up parking a long way away, and it's a pretty good walk to get to the lakefront.
Take me out to the ball game, but take me on CTA. Cubs fans stream out of buses and trains, relaxed and ready for fun.
We provide additional service on the number 152 Addison route, and on weekends and night games, we also provide a service that customers who want to add driving along with public transportation, they can park at the DeVry parking lot at Addison and Rockwell, and we give direct service from the Rockwell parking lot directly to Wrigley Field.
Driving a car to Wrigley Field is a bad call. It can make for a late arrival and a light wallet. There's a reason ATM machines are located near parking lots. What did this man pay?
$35, almost as much as a ticket to the game.
Now, Cubs and Sox fans don't agree on much, but they do agree the CTA is an affordable and convenient way to get to and from games.
It is so simple and convenient. And if you look outside and you look at that traffic, that's the only way. CTA all the way.
For the south side, U.S. Cellular Field, we have many options to get to the park. The red line, the green line, both make stops at 35th Street, and the number 35 35th Street buses will drop you right in front of U.S. Cellular Field.
So maximize your fun time and sun time. Don't spend money fueling your car. Spend it fueling your body and soul. Enjoy summer in Chicago and enjoy the CTA. The CTA map is a great summertime travel resource, and so is the CTA website, www.transitchicago.com. When you invite people to your home, you take time to clean up. I mean, you want to impress your guests, right? Well, that's exactly how the CTA feels about the hundreds of thousands of guests it hosts each and every day, going the distance to keep buses and trains neat, clean, and comfortable. Sweeping and scrubbing, scraping and spraying, soap and water, deodorizers and disinfectants. Maintaining a clean effect while providing more than 1.5 million rides a day is always a challenge, but one the CTA takes very seriously.
Cleanliness is very important because customers board the bus every day. They expect to get a clean ride. The buses are cleaned at night. Most of our buses start coming in at 4:30 after the rush hour, 4:30 up until 2000 hours, which is 8 o'clock at night. And even later, they're cleaned. They come through, they go through the wash rack, they're swept out by the servicers. They lined up for service in the morning. When the operator boards the bus is cleaned in the morning, no debris.
About every 2,000 miles, the buses undergo a general cleaning, or GC.
And when they GC the bus, they're waxing the floors. They are on their knees scraping that gum. And when you walk through, it's just shiny. I mean, this is detailed cleaning like you go into a detailed car wash. Everything is clean, shined. It's great.
Bus operators do their share to maintain that just cleaned look.
Once the operator pulls the bus out the garage, that's their bus, just like their car. So when they get to the end of the line, they're supposed to do a walkthrough. Walk through the bus, check for debris, and remove it. And we have trash cans at each terminal, so they could deposit it.
CTA servicers do the end-of-the-line cleanup on trains. When customers clear out, servicers hop on to tidy up.
Once the train arrives into the station, they get on and they remove all debris. They sweep the debris, remove the big pieces of paper. They deodorize, they remove graffiti.
Train cars routinely undergo an intense cleaning.
That's where they mop the floors, they clean the windows, and they also wipe down the seats. We have 2 car services that perform that task. That's the mini clean. The full interior cleaning is where the entire car gets sanitized. That's from the floors, the poles, the windows, the chrome, the doors, the seats. All of that is sanitized.
The bottom line is this: no bus or train ever starts the day dirty. What you see here is what customers leave behind as trains and buses travel from one end of the route to the other.
I'm asking that the customers help us to keep the CTA clean, and we're just asking that they respect that, hold on to their debris, and then dispense all debris into the receptacles that's located at the platforms at every rail station.
In addition to trash receptacles, rail stations have recycling bins for newspapers. There are garbage cans along nearly every street served by CTA buses.
The operators, they're doing their job, trying to get you from one location to the other. Just let them go down the street with a clean bus because someone is coming behind you to sit in that same location.
Smoking, eating, gambling, littering, and radio playing are prohibited on CTA vehicles.
The message is clear. The request is simple. Help keep the CTA clean, as a matter of courtesy and respect for fellow customers. And you can help. Don't leave behind newspapers or candy wrappers. Whatever you bring on the bus or train, make sure you take it with you when you leave. Just ahead on Connections, art is in the eye of the CTA customer. What is your favorite summer destination to take CTA to?
Millennium Park's really nice. It's nice to walk around out there, see the Big Bean, all the people walking around. It's really lively.
In summer, I took my kids to go to downtown Chicago, have a lot of fun there. The Kids Museum.
Usually I take it to a ball game, north side or south side. But
Oh, you don't have a favorite?
I prefer the Cubs, but I like a ball game, and I think the CTA is probably the best way to get there.
Millennium Park, yeah, because I enjoy the park and I enjoy all the concerts.
And also the Field Museum, we love that.
I enjoy everything that is free in Chicago.
Improving CTA facilities, investing today to better serve our customers now and in the future. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. As we speak, artists around the Chicago area are painting, drawing, designing, and sculpting in a variety of media to brighten the bricks and mortar of the CTA. A few months back, we reported on arts and transit projects under creation for renovated Red and Brown Line stations. Some of those works are nearly ready to be installed. Meanwhile, artists selected for more Brown Line stations are moving ahead, moving their projects into the fabrication stage.
Right now, we're working on phase 2. The artists are under contract for 11 stations along the Brown Line that are being renovated and rebuilt. We do have 11 different artists. We've commissioned 1 artist per station. They're all going to be just fabulous works. Everyone is different. And this will go in the storefront. So this window will face the street, and people will actually walk through the design through these doorways.
Colored glass, mosaics, sculptures, and art that puts the fun in functional.
He's actually taking these vintage suitcases and travel cases and chairs and casting them in bronze. We've got some very talented artists. I'm really excited about all of them. I'm looking forward to the finished products.
Barbara Cooper designed a stainless steel and brass sculpture to hang from the atrium at the Damon Station on the Brown Line. This is the model.
This will actually be inverted, so it will be suspended.
Barbara wanted to create a visual metaphor of the transit experience.
I really saw the piece as being about kind of transitions and connections. So the sculpture is one aspect of that.
Barbara also designed a second piece for the station. It's a 16 by 15 foot glass mosaic being fabricated in Germany.
I think it's amazing. It's actually making art very accessible to anyone. You don't have to go somewhere. It's part of your daily life. And I personally believe it's important to have beauty in your life.
Train stations are a really important place to have artwork, public artwork. So many people come and go through those spaces.
Jonathan Gittleson works with photographs. He designed a piece for the Armitage station.
Basically, for 3 months, I interviewed people on the Armitage Brown Line platform and asked them to share with me a memory or a place from their life here in town. And I recorded these conversations, and then I went out and photographed the locations where the stories took place. So basically, they're going to be 42 20 by 24 inch glass tiles that will have photographic images inside of them. It's like a sandwich of glass to hold the image. And then a mosaic tile structure that's going to mimic the streets surrounding that station.
We're going for something, kind of beyond a one-liner. We want something where the passengers on the train, as they're coming through the stations, they're going to see something new every day and maybe look at the artwork in a slightly different way.
View artwork in a different way and experience an otherwise mundane commute in a different, enriched way.
I really like the idea of having work up in a public space that hopefully will give people another dimension to their life.
The Artists in Transit program is funded by the Federal Transit Administration. The CTA provides an average of 1.5 million rides on an average weekday. And CTA realizes that the customers taking all those rides have a lot to say when it comes to service. Meet the group of people who count the most when it comes to planning CTA service. It's not who you might think it would be. It's you, our CTA customers.
We go right to the heart of the people who are living in those communities, who use our services, and can really tell us what they need right there at the very basic level.
We look at census, building permits, as well as construction permits, and other reports that are produced, but the most important data source that we use is community input.
Your questions, your comments, your inputs, and your suggestions are extremely important to us in terms of how we proceed throughout the process.
CTA is presently engaged in 2 major initiatives that involve a lot of public outreach. And one of the initiatives is the alternatives analysis.
Alternatives analysis studies involve long-term projects, such as the expansion of the Red Line, Orange Line, and Yellow Line, as well as the Circle Line project.
Right now, each of those 4 projects is undergoing this alternatives analysis process and undergoing the public involvement that's part of the process.
And then there are sub-regional studies.
And the sub-regional studies initiative is more of a shorter range approach to what kinds of service planning changes and improvements would be useful in the nearer term.
In total, we've had 4 sub-regional studies. The West Side, West Suburban Regional Study, which was implemented in June of '06. We also have the North and South Lakeshore Drive corridor studies that were implemented, as well as the North Suburban Rogers Park sub-regional study.
Community meetings and workshops glean valuable public input for both alternatives analysis and sub-regional studies.
We make sure that all of our meeting locations are accessible by transit, that they are accessible to people with disabilities, and have a size of the room that is sufficient to handle the crowd that we're expecting.
This recent Red Line Extension meeting is just one example of the many community meetings held by CTA each year. CTA customers get a chance to review proposals and ask questions prior to and after the meeting.
The alternatives analysis for the new starts is a federally required step to take, whereas a lot of our other community outreach for the sub-regional studies for our capital projects, it's something that we've developed right here at CTA within my own department to do.
Community meetings are held throughout planning, but the CTA actively seeks input in other ways, such as customer surveys.
We have surveyors that are on basically buses and trains and pass them out to every boarding customer that boards a bus or train.
Good afternoon, CTA Customer Service. This is Allie speaking. How may I help you, please?
But also calling our 188 Your CTA, where we receive all those comments from our customer service department, as well as email, letter, through their alderman offices. We are in communication with them. So there's a lot of different venues in which we can receive some of the comments that are then incorporated into the service plan.
So don't be shy. Speak up. The CTA values your opinion. The CTA advertises community meetings by placing signs on trains, buses, and at stations, and by working with local elected officials and the media to get the word out. Still to come, a CTA bus operator who takes customer service to a new level. On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.5 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. What makes a good bus operator? Simple, a commitment to safety and customer service. And the winner of the CTA Rodeo Bus Operator Competition proves his commitment every day.
Treating people with respect. And I believe that's the biggest key.
you treat somebody with respect and they're going to give you that respect right back.
Bus operator Jairo Naranjo has respect for his customers and the vehicle used to get those customers to and from their destinations. The skill with which he handles both people and buses won him first place in the bus operator competition at the 2006 Transit Jamboree.
We have maybe a dozen scenarios that are thrown at the operator, and they have to handle them all. Handle them all properly and handle them all with good customer service. And Jairo particularly excelled at that. It's one of his hallmarks.
This is Jairo's second first-place finish. He also won the Roadeo competition in 2004.
I do look forward to it. It's fun. It's great because the company shows that they appreciate you as an operator also.
Jairo, in general, likes to have fun. He says that's one reason he likes his job as a bus operator.
Actually, it's fun. It's mobile. You're going down the street and you're not constantly in the same place, and I like it. It's fun. You go down that street, up and down the street, and you see different things every day. So that's basically what I like about my job. I have no complaints about it. I like working with the people, and they like getting on my bus. So I mean, it's a great job.
Jairo works out of the Forest Glen garage on the far northwest side, but the buses he operates run throughout the city.
Currently on the 85 Central route. It's a pretty intense route. And basically during the rush hour, I have what they call a swing shift right now. I start at 6 in the morning, I'm done at 10. I come back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm done at 5:30.
The 85 Central route is a busy route and congested during rush hour. Jairo works hard to maintain his schedule and the calm, friendly demeanor his customers have come to expect.
People do bring their own problems onto the bus. There's no question about that. But we've trained our operators to deal with that situation and make the best of it. And Jairo is a very good example of someone that's done very well on it.
Jairo's exemplary performance makes him an ideal line instructor. New drivers who learn from Jairo learn from the best.
Be safe, be courteous, and take your time. You got to remember, you got precious cargo you're hauling around. It's just not boxes. It's not FedEx. It's Chicago Transit Authority. So I mean, the safety is always my main concern. When I look back at the end of the day, I'm happy to know that I had a safe day and that everybody got to their destinations on time and safe.
And that's something we can all appreciate.
Customers do show their appreciations, and there's a lot of customers out there. They might not make the phone call and show their appreciation that way, but I see it every day on a day-to-day basis on one-on-one level. To me, the most exciting thing is when a passenger gets on and says, "Thank you for the work that I've done," and I feel good about that. And to me, that's very exciting. Just to know people are so caring, and I care right back.
Jairo has been a full-time CTA bus operator for 6 years. Up next, Pedal Power, combining bikes and transit to get where you want to go.
That's enough. All right. I've got enough. Come on! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the heck? Man!
Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. What do the CTA and bikes have in common? Think about it. Both are economical, both are environmentally friendly, and they can be used in tandem to get you where you need to go. Meet Brian Kafel. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't want a car. Once, however, he and an old roommate shared a car.
On parking tickets alone, it was so difficult to stay in budget. It was ridiculous. And finding parking, it's just extremely aggravating. And so I was like, you know what, I'm not driving anymore.
Brian relies on his bike, or the CTA, or a combination of the two. It's called Bike and Ride.
I'm never, ever stuck in traffic. I've never gotten stuck in traffic on my bike. My bike equals freedom.
There's a lot of free in Brian's freedom. There's no extra charge to take a bike on the bus or train. And there's free bike parking at most CTA rail and bus stations.
We have bicycle racks inside of 83 of our rail stations, and that means that our customer assistants are there all day long. On the rail system, you can bring your bike anytime except for rush hour, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. On the bus system, you can bring your bike on buses anytime the bus runs.
Like many first-timers, Brian was a little skeptical about putting his pedals to the metal bike racks on CTA buses.
After someone showed me one time, I was like, oh, that's easy, no problem, I can do that. And it's a really simple mechanism.
The CTA's Bike and Ride program uses a prop to teach people just how easy it is to use the bike carrier. One, squeeze the lever to pull down the rack. 2, place the bike in the empty wheel well. And 3, swing the support arm over the tire to lock it in place.
When you get off the bus, be sure to tell the driver that you're going to get your bike. And then when you remove the bike, just do the reverse. And be sure to put the rack back up the way it was when you first got there.
I always thought it was difficult that it would take so much time putting the bike, in front of the bus and everything, but it was just so easy.
It was great. It was pretty easy to do.
There are age restrictions for Bike and Ride. Customers 12 and 13 years old must be accompanied by an adult. Children under 12 are not permitted to bring bicycles on CTA trains or buses. Each bus bike rack holds 2 bikes. There's a 2-bike limit on each train car. Hold on to your bike while on the train.
So that it doesn't fall down while the train is moving. We also ask you to be very courteous of our customers with disabilities, people with strollers, people with other special needs, and make sure that they get on the train and have plenty of space to move around as they need to.
What a fun and fit way to get around town. And let's not forget the fiscal benefits.
If you looked at gas prices, gas was $3.39 for the cheap stuff today.
That makes the CTA's Bike and Ride program a wheel deal.
For all the information you need on the Bike and Ride program, go to the CTA website or pick up a brochure at a CTA station. For all the information on the bike rack locations, go to www.chicagobikes.org. Connections is available on demand 24 hours a day. You can now subscribe to the Connections video podcast and automatically receive each month's program absolutely free. There are several ways to find us. Go to www.transitchicago.com and click on Connections. You can also go directly to the iTunes Music Store and search the words CTA Connections. You can either choose a specific episode for instant viewing, or you can subscribe once and automatically download new shows each month. Like all video podcasts, Connections can be viewed directly on your computer or laptop, or can be viewed on a portable device such as the Video iPod.
Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections.
We're always looking for story suggestions. Do you have a travel secret you'd like to share? How about a hidden Chicago gem that's served by the CTA? And how much time and money are you saving by taking the CTA? We want to know, so give us a call at the Connections Hotline, 312-681-2812. Helping you make your connections. I'm Jean Sparrow. Thanks for watching.